up in the morning, feeling the weight of the world on my shoulders. I wanna move closer, but I don't control it. I know I've been trying, the door isn't open. I know it sounds funny, but really though, in the beginning we really close. Now we just cruising up on the coast. Don't wanna lose you, I really don't. My God, I'm working so hard. I let my guards down and I'm feeling so far. You won't cut me off and I'm ready to grow and I'm ready to know you more. Please, I honestly say I'm mature. It ain't my decision, it's yours. But I will persuade with my all, cause I'm ready to run to your arms. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. I go back and forth when I feel your presence. I'm above the world. There isn't much better, but then I fall levels and levels below it. Don't know where I'm going, don't know where I'm holding. I say I gave up, but I know I didn't. It's just my frustration, I'm only human. I act like I know what I'm really doing. As long as it's you that I'm really choosing. I will never give up, no, I wanna do it your way. You're the king of the world, only wanna do what you say. I know that it's possible to give back my heart to you. Do it that you choose. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. I know that you love me, I really do. Just wanna do right by you till it's through. Please don't ignore me, please just adore me. Wanna be closer to you. I just wanna make you happy. A shining light looking right at me. I give to you gladly, that's my reaction. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored.
Okay.
From the MITM Business Consultants comes Man in the Middle, your one-stop shop for financial tips and tricks that big banks and corporate America won't teach you and don't want you to know. Discussing the latest and greatest products, services, skills, and habits to grow and support the financial needs of your business and you. Giving you the knowledge to help make your own important choices for your business and you. Disclaimer: Man in the Middle expressly disclaims any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, reliance on, or inability to use this podcast or the information presented in this podcast. Now, here is your Man in the Middle, with 10 years of experience in the financial and banking industry, Art Abrahamian.
going on? Kendall's just always so gung-ho about skipping that beginning part. What's going on, everybody? Episode.
My apologies.
It's like, you guys are so antsy to press the damn button. Episode 30, everybody. What's going on, man? In the middle. Good to be here. Good to be back. Kendall, how are you?
I'm amazing, man. Happy New Year, everybody. My apologies. I'm so excited to be back here on the show. We are back. The first show of 2025. We're going to get it done, get it popping. Everybody out there, what's up? We are here. I'm with the man in the middle. We got Art in the building, myself, Kendall. You can call me K-Doz as well. I'm excited, man. I'm excited about today's topic. I'm excited about life, man. First of all, look at this guy right here. Look at this dude. Look at this dude right here, man.
Look at this dude.
This dude looking good, ain't he? Damn, man.
270 pounds down, baby. 10 months.
Not playing no games.
I'm running out, though. I think I'm done. No more weight to be losing.
No more weight.
No, I'm done. I'm not trying to look like I'm going to get sponsored for 30 cents a day or nothing. Yeah, man. Well, what's today's topic about?
Man, today's topic is, I'm so excited about it. It's about navigating the digital transformation.
Okay.
You know, and when and why businesses should start making that transition and transforming their business into digital.
Sure.
Whether if it comes to marketing and any other way. So we're going to talk to you today, man, in the middle. I want to grill you with these questions so you can tell these people with small businesses, people who have their businesses within themselves, whatever it may be,
Sure.
so they can know when they should start making that transition.
Awesome. Well, before we get started, we want to thank USCCA for being a sponsor of the video. And if you want to know more, click that link description below. Go ahead and play their video, and we'll be right back with everybody.
It's in our nature to protect the ones we love, to stand up to any danger, to be strong and courageous, to always be prepared, to keep our family safe, to be the first line of defense. We are born to protect.
Appreciate USCCA for being a sponsor of the channel. So let's get started, man.
So I've been excited about this topic. We've been trying to get together. We've been having so many things happen, life things happening, and we're finally going to talk about this topic because it's a lot of people out there, Art, that have businesses. They've been having them for years, but still haven't really quite transitioned to digital.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And digital is like it's a broad thing, right?
Yeah.
Like digital is broad.
Yeah, it could be a lot of things. Absolutely. And you're right. It's crazy how they haven't transitioned. I mean, dude, the place that I get my hair cut, my beard trimmed, I don't got much hair to cut now, but the place that trims up, when I start getting more. Like today, I don't even go to the place anymore, dude. I go to my barber's house because it's like the guy only takes cash. And it's like, dude, it's 2020 and he's not even an older gentleman. He's a young guy that owns it, but he only takes cash. It's like, why are you doing that to yourself? Like, I understand not embracing a full digital transformation where it's like, oh, we cut your hair online. But I also you gotta move and groove with the times too, where it's like, how are you gonna say check us out on Instagram, but we don't even take debit card? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what the hell kind of contradiction is that? Like, check us out on Instagram, follow us here, follow us there, book your appointment online. Do you take card? No, we don't take card. We only take cash. Like,
That is kind of crazy. That is kind of wild. That would annoy me because not everybody wants to stop to the ATM to get cash out, stop somewhere to get cash back to go get their haircut or do anything.
It's not even that, man. It's like, who carries that stuff most of the time? Like, I carry maybe $40, $50 on me for emergency's sake, just in case at all times. But it's like, if I don't have to carry cash, I won't. It's just easier. I mean, from a budgeting perspective, it's better to carry cash. But we're not even talking about budgeting. They were just talking about just being digital. And it's like, utilizing digital is really big because it allows you to make money without having to spend too much money on in personnel, you know?
When it comes to this topic, I want to start really just at the birth, at the beginning of this. This is start like most of us here who are watching, including myself, I have some clue of what that means.
Sure.
A digital transformation. But can you explain to the people watching and to me, really, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, like digital transformation, my opinion of the word, is like streamlining the business to modernize, right? So using credit card processors that allow your clients to pay with multiple different cards, utilizing social media, utilizing inventory-based systems that would allow people to place orders and then come pick up, right? Like during COVID, that was a big push, right? Like that's where a lot of companies finally made the leap to big transformation to start accepting curbside, which like you go to places like Best Buy, hell, Walmart, you can get all your shopping done before you get there, and then you just pull in, open your trunk, and they pop your groceries in there. And now, unless you're like, I go to the store to get my exercise in because I walk through the store and then I have an ice cream or I have, whatever, fine. All right. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about the person who prefers, right? It's the same thing like with the cash guy with his barbershop. Like, you're still going to get people who are going to pay you cash. But the question then becomes how many, like, let's look at it this way. The people that are going to pay cash who know they have cash, how many walk-ins does he have to turn away that don't have cash? And is the 3% transaction fee that you're going to pay to Square or Stripe or whomever worth the hassle of losing a client? That's how it boils down. You're charging, what was my haircut and beard trim's like $60, $50. And I go, and I have something worked out with my barber where I go every Monday. Every Monday I go. I just got freshed up before this.
I see.
So it's like, he takes Zelle. He don't even own the place. He's just one of the barbers. He takes Zelle. He takes cash. He'll take whatever. Because he's like, I'm about my money.
Right.
I'll take whatever you want to. He'll even take pesos if I don't have anything. I'm sure he'd be like, I'll take the pesos. I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? But the point just being like, you would rather lose 3% of your transaction. So let's say $60. You're going to lose $1.80 to transaction fees because you think it's too expensive and lose $58.40. You see what I'm saying? Like that's your mindset. You're limiting your business. And ultimately what it is you've now limited your business, which means you're limiting your potential for revenue growth because digital markets, I mean, you see it with our Instagram now too. Like we ended up hiring somebody to do it. Now we're doing 56 posts a month, which is crazy. People are like, how are you guys posting so? I'm like, dude, my guys are just beasts. 28 posts, 28 reels, 28 posts, 28 reels. And because of that, it's increased action. It's increased people clicking on the site. It's increased people clicking on the podcast. It's increased everything. Why? Because the digital age is just where businesses are at. And if you don't, it's kind of like you don't get on the horse, it's just going to go on without you.
Absolutely. And it's funny because I think some people think, oh, I don't have the kind of business where I need to have a digital transformation, where I need that.
Yeah.
My business doesn't need that. When, in my opinion, I believe every business, I don't care if you just do basket weaving. I think every business is going to eventually have to go there. So the next question that I do have for you is, like, can you give some examples? You kind of already did, but can you give some examples of, like, what that looks like for a business, making that transformation?
Well, I mean, dude, it's a simple transformation, right? Like, let's since we're talking about the barbershop, like, let's talk about the barbershop. A simple transition, a simple transformation to the digital world, go get a credit card processor. I've even told them, like, dude, I can quote you right now. In 10 minutes, I will get a quote for you, and I'll have a machine here tomorrow. So if your excuse is, no, it's just too expensive. No, it's too complicated. No, it's not. It's just that's your excuse. It's the same excuse people use for not exercising. It's the same excuse people use for not eating well. It's the same excuse people use for not studying when they should be studying, furthering their knowledge, their career, advancing themselves. It's just, we have a million excuses out there and only a few solutions. And at the end of the day, it's like, you want the solution? Guess what? I don't make enough money. Well, you know how you fix that as a business owner is find out why you're not making money. And when you don't have KPIs in place, key performance metrics to look at what's going on with your business, and you're like, okay, this is how much in clients we have. Oh, that's great. I want you to start tallying how much in clients you've turned away. You're telling me how many active clients you have, but you're not telling me how many clients you don't have because you don't take credit card.
See, with digital, and it's so funny, when I was thinking of this topic, I was honestly thinking more in marketing.
Sure.
Than anything.
Well, it's more than just that.
Absolutely. So you're just talking about just taking money.
Yeah.
You would think as a business, I should have everything that someone would need to be able to get their money to have my revenue increase for my business.
Sure.
So what's your opinion on marketing when it comes to digitally marketing, whether it's social media, things like that?
It has its place. I mean, it definitely has its place. Marketing is always one of those things where it's like, it has its place. I think it matters heavily on, like, what's your industry? So if you're like a convenience-based, marketing is important. If you're physical product, marketing super important, especially like when you get it out on Instagram and Facebook, and I guess TikTok's not banned anymore. I don't know. It was banned for a day or something. I'm not sure.
Excuse me.
That's kind of how you have to. It's industry based. Like, we're doing a lot of marketing, but the marketing isn't really helping us help business owners because what we do is more in person. So unless that marketing is going to make somebody want to come from wherever state they are, and I mean, we help people in other states, don't get me wrong, but the experience most of those people want, especially if they're trying to be a new business owner, the face-to-face is really where the value is. But it's like, there's certain areas of opportunity where it's like, well, we'll utilize our marketing and then we'll develop a product specifically to target the area of opportunity that's been created by our marketing, which is like our classroom stuff that we have going on in the Discord we created and all that stuff, where it's like, that is a direct creation of the push towards marketing, where it's like, sure, you may not be a client yet or ever if you don't want to be, but we have a community in which you can join for free, and that's in the in the description below as well. And then let's say you're like, listen, I'm in, I don't know, North Carolina, but I want to take this class. Well, now you can. And then with that community, it pairs with it. So it's like the areas of opportunity open up with marketing. It's just understanding and strategizing around it.
It seems to me that if I'm a business owner, let's say a barber, and I've been doing business a certain way for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
And someone like yourself comes to me who is a business consultant, and I know this, but I'm so in such a comfort zone right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm okay. But it's almost like that question you have to ask yourself, well, damn, do you want to increase revenue? Do you want to get better and bigger?
Yeah.
So maybe you can hire more barbers so you don't have to cut as much hair or work as hard. So like, what are some signs that a business owner can look at and say, okay, I'm lagging behind when it comes to being digital?
Yeah.
And what is a business consultant's role when it comes to that?
Sure. I mean, one thing I want to point out too is, like, you're mentioning, what if that business owner says I'm good? Well, that business owner then has to ask themselves a question. Did they give themselves a job or did they create a business? Right? Because there's two types of business owners. There's the business owner that gave themselves a job and they will work that job for the rest of their life. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, some people don't want to run a big business. Some people literally just want their clients to do their thing and call it a day, and they don't care, whether there's social media, whether there's this. They're just cool as long as they're good. That's a question you need to ask yourself, is why'd you even start your business? Was it just to take care of yourself and your family and be done, or was it to leave a legacy? Because there's a certain point in which your kids might not want your business. And a lot of times most people don't understand that. When we talk to our older clients and we're like, all right, well, you're talking about you're turning 55. You probably don't want to do this for the next 20 years. So what's next? Well, I don't know. I'll give it to my kid. And then the first thing I always say is, well, have you even talked to your kid? Are you even sure your kid wants it? You'd be surprised statistically, from my experience, how often the kids don't want it. Because for them, they grew up around it, so they don't like it, right? Oh, no, it's the thing that kept my dad away for all my youth. I'm not interested in doing it. No, it's boring. I seen my dad, how stressed out he is. I don't want that. I want to be this or that. It's like, okay, so now what? You spent your entire life building this business to hand it over to pass the torch, and then now the torch has already been extinguished before it got passed over because the person you passed it over to don't want it. So then what? Okay, well, now we've got to sell this business and list this business and find a new home for it because what you thought you were building for your kids don't want. And that's just the reality of it. So, the question to ask yourself before you even go down this route of is digital important is, what do you consider this business to be? Is this the job you gave yourself? Or are you creating a legacy with it where it'll outlast your kids, your grandkids? And if it's going to outlast you, your kids, your grandkids, then growing in an ever-evolving environment is important, where it's like you need to keep up with digital trends. You need to keep up with everything because if you don't, you'll eventually outgrow. I'm sorry. If you don't, what you currently have will eventually cycle out. And because you don't have something new filling its place as it cycles out, you're going to end up with nothing.
It sounds like a lot of people, when they start a business, they're not thinking 10, 20, 30 years down the line.
They're thinking, how can I pay for this car payment that I shouldn't have? They're thinking, how can I go on vacation? How can I buy my kids this? How can I buy my kids that? It's constantly jumping from, it's like a frog. Frog doesn't look where he's going. A frog just jumps from pad to pad. And eventually he'll get where he wants to get to. And that's the thing, is like, I'd rather you look before you leap than just keep leaping from pad to pad. So it's like, is there a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, a 20-year plan? Great. And then you set milestones in between. Well, I'm not going to get to my 5-year plan in year 1, so I'm going to do my year 1 plan and my year 2 plan and my year 3 plan, 4 and 5. Then you look back and like I was saying is like, okay, well, this is how many clients you have. Yeah, but how many clients did you lose? Mm-hmm. And why'd you lose those clients? Those same metrics on how you define your key performance indicators through your KPIs are the same metrics you're not seeing. I call them KLIs, key loss indicators. So you're just looking at the good and how good you are, but you're also not looking at the bad and what you missed out on. So I think that's really important. That's all done through digital, because in this day and age, most of these tools are so advanced, super advanced, dude. It's crazy. It's like these things will keep track. It's like even our processor Stripe, it sits there and it's like, this is what you did last year. This is what you did this year. And I look at those statistics and facts and go, okay, we had an increase. Why did we have an increase? What did we do differently this month than we did last year this month? Oh, we had a loss. We'd made more revenue last year this month than this month. Well, what was it? Was it a one-time project that just happened to peak the gross income revenue stream? And then it's like, okay, well, there's no change to be made. That was just a one-off peak. But then it's like, well, I kind of like that month's revenue more than this year's revenue. So how do I get more of those jobs?
Is that also where the business consultant comes into play?
Sure. Because we'll look at those revenues through your books and your metrics and be like, hey, with a lot of our bookkeeping clients, when I do their monthly reviews, especially their quarterlies and their annuals, I print out like a 7-page performance indicator where it shows everybody in their industry based on all those businesses within the same accounting software. And then it compares them to like the average from the tens and tens of thousands of people in their industry. And then I provide them with like the before and afters, the gross and net, and like it's really cool, dude. It's honestly super awesome because it is a stack of just like charts and figures and numbers, and I go over every single chart, every single figure, every single number, and I explain it to my clients. So they're like, dang, okay. And luckily, most clients trend upwards with us because they follow our instructions. Like I can't think of a single client we have that's ever trended downward consistently. Like there's always ups and downs, and you might trend down because, economy, this, that. We've had that. That's just standard. I mean, a business is like a wave. It comes, it goes, it crashes.
Some businesses have seasons.
Yeah, and especially in this area, Coachella Valley specifically, like there's tons of seasonal businesses where it's like summer's not a good time for most businesses here because most people are gone. But summer's the best time for construction people because that's where commercial construction's being done.
It's amazing to me just to see how like a business owner can be in a perfect position for this transformation.
Sure.
Digital that we're talking about, meaning this is all that they're missing is a digital footprint. It's all that they kind of need to kind of get over a certain hump.
Sure.
But some are reluctant to do so.
That's because it's new. It's scary, especially when you have an older business owner who's like didn't grow up with technology. It's like my dad, I'll never forget when he realized that he needed to learn how to use a computer. It was one day he went to UPS. This is like decades. It's like probably like 15 years. It's probably 10, 20 years. 15 to 20 years ago. That's how long it's been.
Okay.
It's a long time, but I remember this story because it was funny for me, but he was really pissed off that day. He went to like UPS or whatever. This was back when it was a lot harder to ship stuff. It wasn't as streamlined as it was. And you would go, they'd weigh your package and do this. Well, they were like, oh, now you got to go to that kiosk over there and weigh it yourself and do that. He didn't know how to use a computer. He had never used a computer.
Oh, wow.
So he sitting in front of this computer and doesn't know how to type on it, doesn't know any, and you would be like, he can write, he can read, but for whatever reason, because the keyboard's not A through Z, it's QWERTY, and it's like, he came home pissed. He ended up, I guess, throwing such a temper tantrum in there because it was upsetting him that he doesn't know what he's doing. And he, at this time he was 40 and he's 63 now. So he was like, no, he was like 45-ish, probably like 40, in his 40s. So it's not like he was like 80.
Right.
But he spent 40 years not having to do this stuff and always writing with pen and paper, not having a flip phone at that time. And I remember he came home pissed. He's like, I need you to teach me how to use a computer. He's like, and I applaud him for it because instead of being like, oh, I just don't know and I'm going to continue to not know, that fueled my dad's rage fueled him to never feel that way again. Where it's like, I felt like an idiot today. You need to teach me how to use a stupid computer so that I never have this issue again. And again, to this day, my dad's not fast on the computer, but my dad knows how to use a computer.
Right.
Now my dad has an iPhone and he knows how to navigate. And once in a while, my 5-year-old has to help him because she'll be with grandma and grandpa and he gets mad about something. And she's like, let me show you, grandpa, I know how to do this.
Gets all frustrated and the 5-year-old has to bring him back in.
Yeah. She's like, I know how to do this, grandpa. Don't worry about it. So it's like, so it's one of those things where it's like, sometimes, and then there's also the same way that we don't enable our clients is the same way, like with him, when he calls me and he's like, I need you to come over. I live across the street. Like literally you could throw a rock and you'll hit my house from my parents' house. That's how close we live to each other. And he'll call me and be like, I need you to come over. Why? That's the first question I ask. I'm like, why? Because I know it's something super easy. Like, oh, the TV's not working. Oh, this isn't. And I'm like, I'm going to be there no matter what. It's my dad. I love my parents. I'll help them no matter what. But sometimes I'm like, just tell me the issue and then follow the instructions. I'm going to tell you what to do. And then he'll get defensive. No, I don't want to do that. I said, then I guess you're not watching TV tonight, Pops. Like I got to force you to do it. So at least if you want to see me, that's one thing. But if you're just calling me because you're like, the TV's not working. And then I come and it's usually like this, click one button and it's back. It's like, oh, it wasn't working for me. It's a stupid thing. It's like everybody listening, if they've got their parents or grandparents, they understand. But the difference is like certain people are like, I don't want to learn. Okay, don't learn. But there's going to be a time where you're out in public and you don't have a choice. And now if that's okay with you, then that's okay with you. It's the same thing for your business. If you're going to jump into the business world and complain, oh, I just feel like I'm not making enough money. Oh, I feel like I'm being pushed out by my competitors. Well, why? Is it because they're utilizing social media? They're utilizing marketing. They're utilizing software to enhance their, upward trajectory of their business. And meanwhile, you're just like, well, we are in the yellow pages. Like, that's great. I don't remember the last time I ever looked at a yellow page.
Me either.
So
I go straight to Google.
Yeah. Yelp, Google. That's it. Nobody sits there. I mean, I'm sure some people use a phone book.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that there's some people probably in their 70s, 80s that still goes to that phone book. But
anybody who's ever been in an Apple store, it's like, I love how the older generations in there.
Yeah.
When I see the 7-year-olds with their iPads like this big and their iPhones and it's just not working. It's like they're trying. I respect that. At least they're trying. And that's the thing. And when they need help, they go get their help. So digital push is really important. It's like anything else. You have to keep up with the times. I don't know if I ever told you about the Sears story.
No. Story time with Art. Let's get it.
So Sears used to be America's oldest, store, right? Like before Circuit City, before, all the other ones that came before it, Target, before Walmart. It was Sears. Like that was America's first store. And the first largest chain store. And they were the dominant leader for the longest time. And then Walmart came along and took market share from them. Circuit City came along, took market share from them. Target came along, took market share. Best Buy came along because Circuit City came before Best Buy. Then you had a place like Micro Center. You had Fry's. Actually, you had Fry's Electric. Then Micro Center came in. You had all these companies coming in. Well, Sears' biggest problem was they were like, well, we're the biggest. And mind you, back in the day, in the 40s and 30s, in the Prohibition era, you could buy a house off of a Sears catalog. Like, they would literally deliver all the things so you could build your own house.
I remember those big Sears books.
Yeah.
My mom or my grandmother used to have them.
Yeah. You buy anything on them.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, back in the early Prohibition era, like during the Mafia days when they had put a ban on alcohol, you could buy homes for like $15,000, $10,000 on a Sears catalog, and they would deliver everything you would need for this home to be built. Wood, it was crazy. So they're like, we've got a long-standing name in this industry. Walmart came along, Target came along. All right, we're going to start taking, but Sears like, we're not worried about it. We're the OG. We're good. Nobody's going to, they may go there for a little bit, but we still got enough to keep us afloat. Well, the difference is like the digital era started to come in because there's the boom in the 90s where like transformation of technology, the late 90s, early 2000s, like it took an 80-year leap in just 10 years in the technology. And when that happened, Sears continued to be like, well, maybe we'll get a website. Maybe. We'll talk about it. And the other ones were like, no, we're going to push digital. We're going to do this. Bro, it got to the point where it's like the shopping thing. Target has there's fridges with cameras on the inside, and Target integrates their online shopping system to utilize the sensors in the fridge to see what's missing, and then it will automatically order it for you. Walmart, same thing, right? With their buy now, do this. It's crazy, the technology that we have now. Meanwhile, Sears is like, no, we're good. We're the OG. Nobody's going to forget us. And then eventually, like I said, you had so much new business coming in and so much existing business dying off. But the new business that was coming in was going into the other places because they're tech savvy, and the younger generation's tech savvy. They like tech. That's what they do. So it's like there has to be you have to keep a steady influx of additional customers, keeping your existing customers, and then when your customers flatline because of their age, because of their whatever issues they may have, whether they die off, whether they're older and they don't use the situation, whether they move, there's a million reasons as to why.
Right.
Or maybe they sell off their business, they sell it off, they do whatever. You have to have a steady influx of additional clientele. That way you're constantly feeding the pipeline of revenue. Sears didn't do that. Sears went out of business. Out of all those big boys, they were the OG, bro, the first big box store in this country. They're not around anymore. Maybe they sell online now, and if they do, that's hilarious. You know what I mean?
Now you don't have a store.
Now they don't have a store, and now they sell
online.
Let me see if they do. I'm just curious. You can go ahead and talk while I find this.
I just find that if they do, that's backwards as hell.
They do.
They do.
You got it. Sears.com. You can buy shit.
but mind you, people, we're not laughing at Sears.
No, I'm laughing at Sears.
But what I'm saying is, if I were to go to my oldest daughter, she might remember Sears. My young kids don't remember Sears. Don't even know what Sears is. My oldest daughter does. So if I say, Brianna, let's go to Sears, she's gonna automatically think old. Yeah. She's gonna think outdated. I remember my grandma used to take me there. Everybody's grandma took them to Sears
because they didn't have a choice. There wasn't options back then. That was it. You had Sears and Circle K.
I grew up in L.A. I remember there was Sears, and then I remember Montgomery Ward. Do you remember Montgomery Ward?
No, I came from Armenia straight to the desert. There was none of that here.
Okay, so there was a Montgomery Ward. I remember my grandma, man, she God rest her soul. I remember she used to take me there because Sears and Montgomery Ward had everything that you need: clothes, electronic appliances, toys. Yep, it had everything.
This is so funny.
So we didn't have to go nowhere but Sears. And now you look at Sears now, they're just online. We had a Sears here, just closed.
No, not just. It's been, you're talking about the one at the mall? That's been closed for years.
How long? Whoa.
Years. Probably before 2017, 2018.
Damn, okay.
Dude, so I'm on this website, late. And anybody here, I implore you to go to Sears.com. Everything here is like 50% off, 60% off, 30% off because they're probably still just trying to sell equipment that they still had. And
their inventory.
Uh-huh. You can get a $550 Craftsman 450-piece mechanics tool set for $230.
That's not bad, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not bad at all.
And look at the irony in this situation. They refused to get digital. They lost their market share. They're no longer a business. They have no more storefronts. And now all they do is sell online.
Online. That's crazy. When they could have did this years ago and been ahead of the curve. Now, let me ask you this. As a business consultant, what would you have told Sears in the moment where you say, what would have been your advice to Sears?
Well, yeah, I'm rough around those edges because mine's just like, I would have told them you need to keep up. And then they would have continued to have loss in revenues. And I'd have been like, so you either keep up or you're going to lose this thing. And the problem is like, there's a level of confidence and then there's a level of overconfidence. Thinking you're so good and your foundation is so solid that it can't be swept from under you. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. The king always falls off the crown at some point. You know what I mean? Like, you can sit at the top, but you don't stay at the top forever. And that's why things are constantly evolving and ebbs and it flows in such a way. But it's funny. I'm like looking over here and I've been on this website for 5 minutes and it's begging me to sign up with them first time to get a $50 off coupon. It's like, you go on Best Buy, they don't sit there and bother you with this. It's I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, you have to get along with the times. You just can't. You can't sit there and think your old ways is, everybody's like, it's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah, it's an oldie but a goodie. Listen, I love classic cars. I think they look great. I don't want to drive one of them. Right. No power steering, no nothing. Carburetor. Like, I can't rely on a classic car. I'm sorry. Like, all day, I'd rather take a brand new Honda over a whatever classic car you want to throw. And again, for a weekend car, sure.
Not for your everyday.
Not for my everyday.
Well, you know what? Quick rant. Walmart is starting to piss me off, right?
Uh-oh.
Because
Walmart, listen up.
Walmart, why don't you have Apple Pay? It's freaking annoying. You want me to get the Walmart app and put my credit card or debit card on the Walmart app, and then I have to get the app and then put my debit card on there and then use the QR. I don't want to do all this shit. Just have Apple Pay, damn it. Like,
no, but they want to use Walmart Pay.
I get it, but I can't use Walmart Pay everywhere I go. I can use Apple Pay everywhere I go. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, so, like, I understand why they're doing what they're doing.
I get it.
Because they want you to use their proprietary software, probably because it's cheaper.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's cheaper for them. Instead of using Apple Pay and then paying additional percentile for that, they've navigated their own, and I think that's why they're doing it.
Well, I mean, I get it. It's just not convenient for me. I'm being
Sure.
selfish in this matter.
I mean, I get it. But I can't blame them, because at least they're doing something like that. Right. I mean, it's annoying that they're like, well, you can't use the general one. You have to use our proprietary software. But at least they're using a software. Sears is probably like, we'll take Apple Pay.
Now,
we'll do whatever pay you want. Please buy our things. Please.
Now they're using it. Just please get on our website that we should have did 30 years ago.
Man, the biggest store that went under that to this day I'm sad about is freaking Bed Bath Beyond.
Bro, right?
Great store, man.
Right?
Great store. Unfortunate. And they were digitally savvy. And even then, like, look at that. Bed Bath Beyond's an online store now, too. They were the coolest, bro. Mm-hmm. They had the best return policy. It was like Costco's return policy. You could come 6 months later, the thing's in 2 pieces, no receipt, and they're like, yeah, we'll take it back.
Yeah, it's I wonder why they were able to do that. There has to be something that they were.
Most of that stuff is done through like mismanagement of funds. The problem is these organizations are run. They get so large that they're owned and run by like bigger companies, and then these bigger companies are literally billionaires pooling money together in hedge funds, and these hedge funds are now buying big companies. Like when you really think about it, like there's only like 6 major grocery stores companies in the country.
That's true.
There's only like 5. I think it's under 6. It's like there's like 4 to 6 of them, and it's like Kroger owns like 30 different stores. Right. Walmart owns Sam's Club, and it's all this stuff. Like the other day, I found out I didn't even know that. I didn't even know Walmart owns Sam's Club.
I didn't either. No,
so Sam's Club
right next to each other.
So Sam's Club, Walmart was founded by Sam, whatever his name is. Sam, I'll tell you right now.
Mm-hmm. I know it's Wall something.
Sam Walton.
Sam's
Club.
That's crazy.
They named it after him.
That's crazy.
For wholesale purchases. So it's like.
So Sam's Club and Costco aren't under the same umbrella?
No. Okay. Costco's owned by Kirkland.
I wonder because it's Kirkland products all up in there. Okay.
Costco's owned by Kirkland. Sam's Club is owned by Walmart. Kroger owns like Albertsons and Save-On and Pavilion and Vaughn's. They own everything. That's what I'm saying. It's like. You look at these names on the front, but Uber Eats owns the other one, DoorDash.
What?
Mm-hmm. They bought them.
Wow. Damn, that's really crazy. Like when you really think about that, it's like the same 10 people, 10 businesses own freaking everything.
I don't remember who they bought.
That's wild.
Uber Eats bought Postmates.
Postmates, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard Postmates in a while.
Yeah, because it's Uber Eats and Postmates. I'm sorry, not DoorDash. So Uber Eats bought Postmates, but now Uber's trying to buy DoorDash. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you see all these names, and the digital marketing aspect is good too because it makes you think you have a choice.
Right.
Like you're going to these places and you think you have a choice. Well, I don't want to go to Uber. I won't order off Uber Eats. I'll go off Postmates.
That's like Coca-Cola owns Pepsi, right?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think Coca-Cola owns Pepsi. But the point is, like, you have 2 choices to go to a grocery store, and you think you have a choice. I don't want to shop there. I don't like that place. I'll shop here. You're shopping at the same place. They're all collecting all of it.
Just look different.
Right. And you would, and that's. We're deviating so far from this topic.
I know, right? That's all right. Hey,
this is 2025, baby. We're just here talking.
No, it's a damn podcast. Okay, you got to. I know you guys are enjoying this banter a little bit. Okay, some of you are having this conversation right now with your spouse or in a barbershop or something. Okay,
I love that people are like Starbucks and Coffee Bean are the same people. They're owned by the same people. They just want you to think you have a choice. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it could be. Who knows? Could be.
I'll do some research on that. But kind of getting back to the topic, because we're going to be concluding here pretty soon. But this always comes up in every podcast that we do, is business owners having trouble implementing the changes.
Yeah.
Because as a business consultant, I'm sure You may have to tell, like you said with the barber guy, hey, man, why don't you have a Square? Why don't you have a credit card processor? Why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? You need to start making these changes. And if you as a business consultant is telling someone this and you foresee them and you're showing them the reasons why they should do it and they don't do it, how then as a business consultant do you respond to that?
You just cut your losses with that client. There's a certain point where it's like, listen, man, I can help you, but you have to help you. I can't care. You know what, Arian, I want you to clip this. I can't care more about your business than you care about your business. I will meet the level of excitement that you have. I will meet your level of passion, and I will meet your level of dedication. I will never exceed your level for your business because it's not reserved for me to have that one up on you. You are the only person that's allowed to have that. If I'm more passionate about your business, if I'm more passionate about your dreams, if I'm more passionate about your goals, you got the wrong priorities. End clip.
I agree. And you know what? Doing this podcast with you, Art, as I get personal a little bit, doing this podcast has really made me want to take another stab at being a business owner. A couple of different things I've thought about, but because you help it make so much sense, like certain things that I maybe didn't know, which is why I'm so happy that you asked me to do this with you, because I don't excuse my French, but I don't know shit, y'all. Like for real. I've read books, don't get me wrong, and there's some basics that I do understand and know, but doing this podcast with an actual business consultant who was great at what he does, it's making me feel like, man, you know what? I think I can do it.
You can do it.
And
everybody can do it. You just have to care.
It's inspiring and motivating because I know that whatever I do care about. Now it's all about implementing those things, putting things into
Listen, when you're new at something, you have every right to sit there and say, I don't know. And not knowing's okay. That's all right too. No one's upset that you don't know something, but what's not okay is acknowledging you don't know something and not wanting to make a change. Because the resources are out there, whether you have a consultant, whether you use YouTube, whether you use Google, now the level of instruction will be way different. And like today I was meeting with a client and I told him, I said, listen, dude, you're getting to a point in your business where you're making big boy money. Now you need to start playing big boy games. Because writing off your phone for $1,000 a month when you're bringing 20 grand net income a month ain't gonna spare you in taxes.
Right.
So it's time for you to start diversifying, right? And we had an entire hour-and-a-half conversation where it's like, holy crap, dude, I didn't think about any of this. Because you're still in a wrong mind. It's like your business grows, your mindset has to grow. The more you grow, the more your business grows. The more your business grows, the more you have to be willing and able to expand on that horizon of knowledge. Because what's going to happen, it's like what you're saying. You're like, us talking makes you feel confident. That's great. I want you to take that, and I want you to utilize that to now start. Take that excitement, take that eagerness, and take the first step. Start the business. But then that's where it's like, of course, I'm going to help you, no questions asked, but I'm going to sit down with you and be like, this is what you need to do. We need to get these ducks in a row first. Cool. I'm going to help you get those ducks in a row. And then, it's a process. You can find them online. They don't work. The get-rich-quick schemes. Mm-hmm. No such thing. If you want to get rich quick, you're going to lose your business quick too. Because normally quick equals quick.
Right.
But meaningful and intent with meaningful actions, you will have a lifelong stream of revenue. That's just what it is. There's no level of AI, and I'm sure at some point AI will try to replace me too, but the reality is AI is AI. I can circumvent AI because AI can do a lot of things, but it can't give you a relationship. It can't give you trust. It can't give you any of that stuff. It is literally going to compile data based on what the rest of the internet says, and it's going to tell you this is a generic answer, but not every business is generic. There's a lot of nuances.
Absolutely.
So it's like AI might fix a lot of things. And again, I'm sure within the next 10 years, I'm going to be battling AI companies, but that's okay. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to have to grow with my industry.
Right.
So when my industry starts leaping and bounding in the tech world, you better believe it, MITM is going to be leaping in the tech world too. Hell, actually, one of the things we're working on is I'm trying to get MITM office in the metaverse. Where I will literally have people with VR headsets
in the
metaverse. That's next on. I'm still trying to figure that out, but that is one of my goals. That's how tech. Like, I'm interested in that stuff, and if that's where the world goes, then that's where the world goes. But you better believe I'm gonna have an MITM office in the metaverse, and I'm gonna win best of 2025 or 2035 in the metaverse too. I don't care. That's the mentality you gotta have.
That's true though. That's true, and like I said, I'm very grateful to be on this podcast because I'm learning so much, and it's also. You viewers out there who are viewing this, even if you see the posts on Instagram or TikTok and now here on YouTube, you guys need to really watch this damn show because you are getting gems from a guy who is really doing this every day, consulting businesses, and is successful at it. So I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped to be a part of this.
Hey man, I'm pumped to have you here.
And I can't wait for further shows. And as we get into more and more in detail about business consulting and really not only what the role is, but the actual possible results that you can have. So as we get ready to conclude this thing, are any other gems about navigating the digital transformation you want to drop on the people?
I mean, if my last gem is just going to be come to the table with an open mind, come to the table seeking help and guidance. I think this isn't just digital world. This is just in general. If you want to be better as a person, you want to be better as a business, you want to be better as a father, you want to be better as a husband, you want to be better as a man, you want to be better as a woman. It doesn't matter what you are. If you want to be better, you have to come to the table with an open mind and a willingness to try, right? It may not be successful. I've said it. We said it on the last podcast. Sometimes we give you tasks that we know is not going to help. But we're not trying to make you rich with that task. We're just trying to get you to learn a good habit. And if you come to the table with that mentality where, yeah, it's not going to work, but there's a lot of growth that you're going to do in between that, then you're going to be successful. If you come to it with passion and openness, you'll eventually, and you have to be around the right people. Roy says this all the time in the Parents and Pennies podcast. Know who's in your inner circle. Because if you're around a bunch, they always say look at all your closest friends, your 5 closest friends, that's you. So if you have all these complaints, man, they're lazy, man, they're this, man, they're that, man, they're this, that's you, brother. That's you. So if you don't like what you're around, not saying you have to tell all your friends kick rocks, but there's a certain level where you look at your friends and you go, I love them. They're my friends. We've been friends for a long time, but unfortunately, this bus is about to take off, and I don't see them on it. And that's that.
And sometimes you got to do that. I've experienced that, and I've been doing that for the past couple of years, and you will be amazed at the difference.
Well, I feel like I've been doing that more now, me and you and Roy, and we've all said this. 2024, we're done. 2025, we're especially done. In the middle of 2024, we all looked at each other and said, we're done. We're done trying to drag people with us who don't want to go.
Right.
Like, you don't want to go. And now that we've started leaving all these people behind, when we look in that rearview mirror, all I see is people running, trying to catch back up. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's what it needs to be. So if you want to start 2025 right, and it doesn't have to be just digital, just look at your business and ask yourself, could it be better? And if it could, seek help. And that person like me who's going to tell you, are you doing these things? You don't need to know the answers. You don't need to have all the answers to your business. If you're willing to learn and willing to reach out, that's what we're for. We'll help you find what's wrong with your business. And it's just as simple as that.
That's awesome, man. I enjoyed today's show. Art, thank you.
I know, it's good to be back. I missed you, man. It's been too long.
You too, brother. You too, bro. So this was, man, episode 30, man. That's in the middle, everybody.
Episode 30.
In the books. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. please go there, handle that. Go hit that doggone follow. Make sure you guys watch those reels and definitely stay in tune.
And buy something off Sears.com. I feel sorry for that.
Poor Sears, man. I miss Sears, man.
I'm going to order something off Bed Bath & Beyond tonight. They're a goat.
Bed Bath & Beyond.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. We'll see you guys on the next podcast. We'll be going back to our regular schedule. I think that covers it. I can't think of anything else. Till next time, guys.
We good.
See ya.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to Man in the Middle. If you haven't yet, please consider liking and subscribing to the show. If you can't wait till next episode, follow us on Instagram at MITM Business Consulting and online at MITM.services. There, you can learn more about what we do, how we can help, and the custom services we offer around your personal needs. Until next time, if you'd like to choose the topic we discuss and receive additional services, consider joining our membership program at MITM.services.
Disclaimer. Man in the Middle expressly disclaims any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, reliance on, or inability to use this podcast or the information presented in this podcast.
We look forward to you tuning in next time.